Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the ASUS Vivotab Smart, a very interesting tablet that I'm going to review for you right now. There aren't so many reviews of the device out there, so we're trying to be among the first to detail this tablet. We're dealing here with a 64GB slate, one that costs $499. So it's just like the ASUS Vivotab RT with Windows RT that we already reviewed, only that this model runs Windows 8 and not Windows RT. This means we can install Windows 7 apps on it, and also it has an Intel Atom dual-core processor and a lot of storage for $499. So let's check out the design first. It's not like the thin and metallic Vivotab RT. This one has a plasticky back, but it doesn't spoil the image of a pretty elegant and decent product. It's not that hard either, it's pretty easy to hold in the hands. It has good grip and a nice texture at the back, also a nice look from all sides. So this is a pretty cute looking device. It's available in black and white. Our version is white. Windows 8 available right here, Intel Atom branding as well. A look from the front also, and at the back we can see the 8-megapixel camera and its flash. There's pretty little logo, the ASUS logo right here, shining, good grip. Here you can see the volume buttons and the audio jack and what looks like a microphone hole. And on the other side we find the micro SD card slot, the micro HDMI with a pretty sturdy lid. So micro HDMI, micro SD, micro USB, and this is the speaker that's more potent than it looks. And let's see what else we have on this device. Nothing at the bottom, no port whatsoever. And here finally we have the on-off button that's reasonably hard to press. Here we have the front camera and finally the Windows button in this area. So overall a pretty nice design. Usually tablets with Windows 8 are defined by a more bulky experience, but this Intel Atom model is actually reasonable. It may not be the Vivotab RT, but it's still pretty decent in size. It measures 9.7 millimeters in thickness, weighs 580 grams, so it's not exactly the heaviest tablet out there. There are more famous tablets that weigh 600 grams, well, this one is less. The display is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, as you can see for yourselves, but you can get past that if you have a special cleaning accessory for it. So as far as the design goes, I have to say we're pretty happy with what the ASUS Vivotab Smart has to offer. It's a pretty nice design. Inside the story gets interesting. We have an Intel Atom dual-core 1.8 GHz processor with burst technology, and we also have a Qualcomm 9200 modem. We can achieve LTE connectivity on this tablet, and also we have HSPA Plus, which means we should get about 40 megabytes per second downloads, at least theoretically. Practically it will be a bit less. This tablet is available in black and white, as I already said. At the back we've got an 8-megapixel camera with a 5-element lens, LED flash, autofocus, and this crisp and beautiful display that I keep showing you right here is a 10.1-inch IPS panel. ASUS has a passion for IPS panels. They keep using that technology. So this IPS screen supports a resolution of 1366 over 768 pixels, and the screen also has LED backlighting, and it offers a 16:9 aspect ratio. You can do multitasking like this with this gesture. These are the charms, these are the settings, but we'll get back to the OS later on. We continue the analysis of the hardware. We have NFC, we have Sonic Master audio that you'll hear in a minute now. The front camera is the 2-megapixel unit available right here, and the device supports Windows 7 apps that you can easily run on it. It also has 2 GB of RAM available, 64 GB of storage, and also we get 32 GB of ASUS web storage in the cloud, as usual for the latest ASUS tablets and even the Android tablets. Other stuff worth mentioning is that of course we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth 4.0, and finally one important aspect is the battery life. So we have a 25 watt-hour battery, lithium polymer battery actually. It should provide about 8-9 hours of use That's what ASUS is saying officially. Well, the tablet lasted in our tests for about 10 hours. So if you leave it in standby, play with it a bit, browse the web, install some apps, you will reach 10 or even 11 hours. So if you exclude our lunch breaks and our sleeping time, you can get a day of use from this device. It will charge up to maximum battery volume in about 2 or 3 hours, and other specs include G sensor, gyroscope and a compass. Okay, now it's time to test the multimedia capacity of this device, and as usual we resort to the music and video apps. So this is the music app on the tablet. Everything is Xbox now, Xbox Music and Xbox Video. There's no more Zune, luckily. So let's listen to some nifty music, some IMX. Turn up the volume. The Sonic Master technology should behave excellently. I sure wish they had an equalizer. I wish they had some visualizers and equalizers. Well, all we get is a repeated playback. I'm very happy with the volume and the bass. So let's try to listen to one more song. Let's try this one. And in case you're wondering, this is the speaker right here on this area. Okay, so enough about audio playback, trying to draw some conclusions. Let's close the player like that. So there's no equalizer sadly, but that's the fault of Microsoft. They didn't include an equalizer on Windows 8, Windows 30, Windows Phone 8, so that's sad, but at least the audio volume is pretty good for that speaker at the back. We have good bass, good voice clarity, nice guitar clarity. That's a problem nowadays. When you listen to the guitar on some tablets and phones, you hear it distorted. And in case you don't want to use the application from that Metro view, so to say Metro, because it's not called Metro anymore, you can also use the good old Winamp. So if I enter the folder like this, like in the normal Windows, and I can keep the song pressed, and I will have the option of opening it with good old Winamp, just like on the desktop. Sure, it may take a while, but at least we're using Windows software just like on a normal PC experience. So you can listen to your songs in Winamp if you don't like the Metro interface. So as you can see, Winamp is open, we're playing a track and we're trying to stop it. Obviously it works better with a mouse, but you get the idea. We're shutting down that app, and now obviously I'm going to show you some video playback. Here we are in the video area. Once again, Xbox Music, Xbox Video, everything Xbox. So let's open it up. This is the movie Final Fantasy Spirits Within. It's a 1080p movie, MP4 format, Full HD, good quality, crisp. If you saw the movie back in 2001, you should know that it has a lot of effects, bright colors, but it's also pretty dark at times, so let's try to get to the more colorful areas. And let's tweak the brightness a bit. So here it is, full brightness. Let's enjoy the clarity and how crisp the display is. The sound is also very good. Let's skip to the ending where the colors are. And these are the viewing angles. As you can see, they're not the greatest in the world. The tablet is a bit glossy, and also the viewing angles could be a little bit better, but they're pretty decent for a modern tablet. So now the conclusions as far as video playback goes. Obviously it supports a lot of formats and a lot of high quality files, like this full HD video that we played earlier. The viewing angles, well, they could be better, and the fact that the screen is glossy may bother some of you, but at least it's very bright, so bright that we have to turn the brightness a bit down for this review. And overall the playback is decent, so that's what I can say. The colors were very good, brightness was once again decent, actually very good, but the viewing angles were my only disappointment. Okay, time to test the camera. So let's look for the camera app. Here it is. We're dealing with an 8 megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, 5 element lens, BSI, and f2.2 aperture, 1080p capture. And here are some camera options. You can take 8 megapixel shots as shown right here in 4:3 or 16:9. And there are more options here, so let's put this like this. You can apply some effects like negative, sepia, grayscale, and then some general settings like flash, torch, which is cool for video only, exposure value, back to the options once again, and let's see what else. Hopefully this will work at some point. This is what happens on Windows software, sometimes it just doesn't want to work. So once again the options. Okay, in the general area we have the scene modes: landscape, night, portrait, backlight, the white balance, daylight, cloudy, fluorescent. We can tweak the brightness, we can play with the contrast a bit, and finally some more settings like focus mode, continuous, infinity or auto, and ISO from 50 to 800. And then there are the video options. So now we entered video mode. You can do 720p 16:9 capture or 1080p, apply some effects, general settings like this yet again, and focus mode yet again. So let's take a picture just to show you how it's done. So we're recording now. This was the video recording, and taking a picture is done simply by tapping the screen. Easy as pie. And now I'm going to show you some samples that we took in a park. As you can see, the interface is very intuitive. Some people may even say too intuitive. Here are the pictures we've taken, the ASUS camera, and this is the camera roll. We also have some videos shot in a day of December, so don't expect bright colors, but expect decent crisp quality. This is a panorama, pretty good panorama actually, taken with this tablet. And here's another video. As I said, it does full HD video capture without problems, and it's as usual for ASUS. They have accustomed us to getting the best cameras out there on their tablets. So the best 8 megapixel sensors that you can get. Look at this macro shot, look at the detail. So a very impressive shot from a very good camera on the ASUS Vivotab Smart. So let's close the app down. This was the camera, and I can say that it's a very good camera. A lot of effects, brightness, contrast, playing with the ISO, and as usual ASUS has implemented one of the best 8 megapixels camera and one of the best cameras ever on such portable devices. As far as Windows 8 goes, well, you know the drill. We have the charms here with the search, start devices settings. The search and settings are contextual, so if I'm in the games area I can only search games if I want, and I only have the settings for the games area. This also applies to other applications. Speaking of contextual, there are these gestures that I keep doing. This one to close down apps, this one for multitasking, swipe from the left side, swipe from the right to trigger the charms, swipe from the bottom to trigger options for certain apps. So if I'm in let's say calendar, I can trigger its options from the bottom, provided I'm really logged into it. Okay, so that's about it when it comes to gestures and control. Multitasking I already showed you. The desktop mode is accessed like this with the full desktop experience of Windows 7 minus the start button, and you get your apps from the Windows Store, or obviously you install the apps with the good old exe from Windows 7, and then there's the web browsing area. So I also showed you by mistake a very nice aspect of multitasking, this column of apps that are running at a certain time and you can access them. You can also split the screen between two apps like that, one used in a tiny section and one used in the full mode. It's another nifty aspect of multitasking. Obviously you also have mail, so I have to connect to my Microsoft account, so let me just do that. You can also see the virtual keyboard on this occasion, actually a more version of the keyboard. This one, there's even handwriting if you want. And let's trigger the keyboard one more time. So let's use the standard one and let me input my password and account and should be ready immediately. So here we are. Should enter the email right now. Waiting for it to load. There's a column view. If you saw our ASUS Vivotab Smart review, you know what to expect. Here's the column view with inbox, sketches, sent, outbox, unwanted mail, which is spam I guess, and deleted email. It's synchronizing right now. And this is the emails, here's the content. So it's a very nice division of columns, and this is the email experience on the tablet. Okay, next up should be the web browser thingy. Internet Explorer 10 is here, and I'm using a bookmark to load Tablet-News.com straight from the bookmark that I pinned to the start area. Very fluid loading of the page, pinch to zoom, there's not even a need to talk about it. Very fast, very fluid, opening a new page, very fast also. Also, if you swipe up, you can see the tabs that you have open, and also you can see some of the settings of the application. As I said earlier, the search and settings are contextual, so if I tap settings, I have a lot of internet options. Like this one asks for location, the zoom, which is pretty cool. You can play with the zoom. There's also a feature called flip ahead. So flip ahead allows us to go to the next page on a site simply by swiping on the screen. It should go like something like this. So if I'm on a site and I'm doing this, I'm flipping ahead. It's a revolutionary feature that Microsoft has implemented on Internet Explorer 10, and I have to say I quite like it. So this is all I have to say about the web browser. Internet Explorer is an excellent thing here, but if you want something else, we also install Google Chrome in the desktop version and we can play with it right here. So that's about it when it comes to web browsing, folks. Just like on Windows Phone 8, we have these tiles right here that make out the formerly known as Metro UI. It's now the modern UI, and we have a people hub, so to say, a contacts area. I'm connected to my Twitter account and to my live account, and if I tap on a person, I can see its account, I can spot him on the map, I can synchronize my accounts. So this is the area with all the contacts that you need to know. There is also a messaging area where I can message people on Facebook and also on Hotmail. And then there's Chrome. We also install Chrome in case Internet Explorer 10 doesn't do it for you. There's Chrome, but there's in desktop mode, so I have to activate this keyboard and type something like yahoo.com, and it will load from Chrome, and this is the experience. So this is just like on the desktop. This is basically Windows 7 emulated onto Windows 8 that also involves some tiles. And we saw Chrome, and now it's time to show you some maps. The ASUS Vivotab Smart also comes with maps. It has already localized me, and here are the options of the maps. You can add a pin on the map, change the style of the map with aerial view. Some pretty good details here. I'm wondering if not only Bing but Nokia contributed to this. So you can set your location, create a route to someplace else. So let's try to draw a route from my place to London. That would be one hell of a route since it's pretty far away. So this is the route that has been traced all over Europe to several roads. And this was the Maps application. And aside from the standard camera app that you can see right here, ASUS offers its own camera app that brings a few extras, like the ability to actually zoom using this control, the ability to take a panorama, and finally some extra options available, like you'll see in a minute, denoise and GPS and shutter sound. So these are the only extras that the ASUS camera brings. And then some other apps offered by ASUS, of course, web storage with 32 GB of storage in the cloud, my library if you want to do some e-reading. Let's check out Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So this is how you do your e-reading. Be careful not to trigger the gesture for charms like I just did. These are the options of the reader. You can zoom in, zoom out, select a bookmark from here and check out the menu, and keep tapped a word to see its definition, or you can highlight more stuff and find it later on. So this was the e-reading, and then there's the My Dictionary where you can translate stuff. Plus, if you already saw our other reviews of ASUS devices, ASUS tablets with Android and stuff like that, there's an app called Supernote that we really like. It's a way to take notes on steroids. So you can draw, you can write, you can insert pictures, videos. So if you want to say something like hello guys, that's it, will be written right there. Or you can type in the regular way and then you can draw with a lot of pen settings, with the thickness of the stroke, the type of the pen, a marker, color, and a ton of other options that you can apply. You can also paste stuff and insert a photo, text image, record a video, or record sound. So, as I said, a note-taking app on steroids. Okay guys, now it's time to show you something very interesting. I'm basically going to turn this tablet into a full-fledged PC, and I'm going to do that not by using an official accessory, but rather this one. By the way, there are official accessories. There's something called the trans sleeve that brings a keyboard for the device and a sort of stand. But for now I'm going to use a USB adapter. You can insert here either a keyboard, a mouse, a USB drive. I'm going to go with the mouse for now. So let me set up the gear. Here we are. This is the mouse, the old school mouse that everyone has been using and that Xerox invented and Apple stole from them, but that's an entirely different story. Okay, so now we're in mouse mode. You can see the cursor on the screen, and by the way, if I move the scroll, I'm scrolling around the tiles, just so you know, if you buy Windows 8 someday. And this is Adobe Photoshop in one of the latest versions, and I'm actually going to play with the mouse in Adobe Photoshop to show you what dual core Intel Atom tablet can do with Photoshop nowadays. Not everything will work. Some feature requires special hardware acceleration and will not be available. So waiting for Photoshop to load. The loading time is excusable. It's actually a pretty big app with lots of features, and this is still a dual core Intel Atom device. We're not using pirated software here, it's a trial version, so don't worry about that. So let's open a picture. Select open. Picture of a cat, never fails. Trial version, continue. So opening the picture of a cat. Here we are, and now let's move on to the editing. I am only going to apply a filter, so I can emboss, and let's try to solarize the picture. Here it is, it's solarized. Now we can distort it maybe with some sphere effects. So I can select the type of sphere. I can select the amount of sphere to do, and the area where I will apply that effect. I'm not that good at Photoshop. I hope that the sphere will be seen by editing this picture. As you can see, the cat got smaller and I applied the sphere effect to it. Okay guys, this was some basic Photoshop to show you that it can be done on a tablet that's only $499. Now it's time to show you something else equally as cool. So let's put the mouse aside, we don't need it anymore. Let's keep the accessory, and surprise surprise, I have a Windows Phone 8 device right here. It's the HTC 8X. Here it is, with also a bunch of tiles, just like the tiles we have here. So I'm going to connect the handset to the Windows 8 tablet. Of course, you can connect them wirelessly, I think. I'm not sure about that. You're free to tell me about that in the comments on our YouTube channel. Here we are. The handset has been connected to the tablet. This is the full suite, Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 together. And guess what? There's an app for that. There's a Windows Phone app. By the way, yesterday there was the official launch of the Dropbox for Windows 8 app. And here it is. We can see the level of the charge on the phone. You can see all the pictures on the phone. You can add videos, add photos, and there are even some Windows Phone apps that you can add. You can find your lost phone on the map, check out your account, and see a detailed view of the storage you have used up on your phone. So this is the Windows Phone app on Windows 8. Okay guys, time for the conclusions. This is the ASUS Vivotab Smart. We previously reviewed the ASUS Vivotab RT. Well, that one was a Windows RT tablet. This one is a Windows 8 tablet with Intel Atom processor. The pros and cons. Well, first things first, the pros are the screen, very nice screen, very nice brightness. Aside from the viewing angles, I'm very happy with the quality of the screen. Very nice audio, considering the speaker is a singular line of dots right here at the back. So pretty good bass, pretty good volume. Also, I like the fact that we can go to the full desktop experience and apply all we knew from Windows 7 to this. We can use a mouse like we did just here, a keyboard, we can create folders, select them, we can install files with exe like in the good old days. Apps will open up faster than in Windows RT on the ASUS Vivotab RT, a bit faster. And now on the cons, those were the pros. The view angles are a bit underwhelming. There are some issues with the older applications, with some games that I try to install, some exe games from Windows 7, and the plasticky back may discourage some potential buyers. Some people may prefer metal, although I'm pretty happy with the grip that's offered by this plastic back. And overall, the battery may also disappoint some of you. 8 hours and a half may not be enough for you, but I think it's decent. Okay, so the grades. For design, we give it a 9 out of 10, operating system 9 out of 10, and finally hardware, once again 9 out of 10 for the ASUS Vivotab Smart. The price is $499, and we thank ASUS for letting us test this nice device. That's it from Tablet News, bye bye.